Hey, we're going to learn how to create an agent and connect it to a virtual number for your chat. The agent will be created in ElevenLabs. ElevenLabs is a platform that makes it easy for us to create audio agents. And in this case, we're going to use it to build an agent that helps us schedule appointments at a demo clinic. Let's get started with the demonstration.
Hi, I'm Anna. You're communicating with Good Smile Dental Clinic. How can I help you?
Wait, I am Andres Perez. How are you?
Hello, Andres. I'm very well. Thank you so much for asking. It's a pleasure to greet you. Tell me how I can help you today with your appointment at the Good Smile Dental Clinic.
I need an appointment for tomorrow for teeth whitening at the first option you have available.
Sure, Andres. I checked the schedules for tomorrow, April 9th, 2026, and I have an appointment available for teeth whitening at 2 p.m. Would you like me to schedule you for that time? I would also need your email address to confirm the appointment.
Yes, I'm interested at 2 p.m. My email is german.n@agents.com and my phone number is 57300 468 4700.
Your appointment for teeth whitening has been confirmed for tomorrow, April 9th at 2 p.m. Thank you for calling Good Smile Dental Clinic. Have an excellent day.
As you can see, we made a reservation. Let's go here to bookings on cal.com and we'll see that the appointment is scheduled, and we'll also see it scheduled in Google Calendar. Now let's take a detailed look at the agent configuration. First of all, what we need to do within the Toto Chat interface is navigate over to the channel section, then carefully select the specific phone number that we are going to use, which in this particular case happens to be this number right here. Once selected, click on it, navigate to the Handling tab, and here we are going to carefully set up the entire automated flow for that specific number. This flow starts off with the initial trigger, and then we proceed to add a Send to ElevenLabs element, which we can easily invoke by clicking on this button right here. We click here, and under Integration, we have the Send to ElevenLabs component. Here, what we do is enter our phone number, select this zip TCP, and click Save. With this, the calls we receive on the virtual number we have in Toto Chat will be redirected to ElevenLabs. In ElevenLabs, first of all, we proceed with configuring the phone number. What are we going to do in this phone number section? We click on Import Phone Number, Front Zip Trunk. Here we would enter the phone name, the label, and here we enter the phone number in international format. And down here, you'll have a section with specific settings. For example, to limit calls to this number from certain numbers so that only these people can answer specific numbers. But in this case, since it's an agent for calls to a dental clinic for a public service, we don't set this up, we just click Import. After clicking Import, we need to go here to the Agent section. In ElevenLabs, we create agents, so we go to the Agents section. Up here, we can click on New Agent, but that's to create an agent basically from scratch. In our case, we're going to use the templates. We go here to Browse Templates, and in this case, we're going to look for an agent that's in Appointment Scheduler. We click here, and here we have the agent's workflow, which is the one we're going to use. We click here on Use Template. This is going to make it much easier for us to set things up here inside the clinic. This is going to make creating the agent much easier for us because we won't have to add a lot of steps and configurations. We'll see in a moment which ones are skipped by using these templates. We click here on Continue. By default, it already selects the tools, in this case, the call.com tools. We'll see here that we need to enter an API key. For this, we need to already have an account created on call.com. Let's go to our account In Settings, we go to Settings, and in Settings we have the API keys section here. Here we have an API key already created. We just click New here, name it, for example, TouchUp ElevenLabs 2, and set an expiration date. In this case, let's say we do not want it to expire because we want our agent to keep working. We click Create, and it will give me a unique API key. We copy it to our clipboard and bring it right over here to this field. With this, we'll have our cal.com connections activated. We click Create Agent. In the Agent section, first of all, we have the system prompt. This is what fine-tunes the agent's personality and how it will act when it receives a call. There's a default option here that you can use, but in our case, we want to give it a bit of an upgrade, so we'd have a slightly more elaborate prompt here. Let's go here. And we proceed to select the voice. This voice will be closely tied to the language our agent will use. In this case, we'll leave the default one. It's very important to check and test the voices to make sure they match our brand or the message we want to convey. There are several models here. This one is Alpha, which is conversational and allows for all these emotion tags, so the voice sounds less robotic. For example, we use this Flash model, which is simpler. Here we can adjust stability, speed, and similarity, how consistent the voices remain throughout the process. So here we have this. Here we select the default language, we can add more languages, and we select the LLM model. It's very important to keep in mind that, as you can see here, the usage of the selected LLMs varies, and so does the cost. So it's important to use a model that matches the type of services we're going to provide. In this case, for example, we're going to choose one that's a bit less powerful. Sophisticated because we're going to do a very simple process. So we're going to use, for example, this Gemini 2.5 Flash. You can run several tests and see which one fits your operation best. Let's go here to the workflow, and we see here that it's a flow that starts with a greeting, as we can see here. All the start, the greeting, all of this wasn't created automatically by the template creation. Here comes the new book. In the scenario, the cancel. Here, confirm details. Here, it's very important to make sure that the agent says goodbye properly, so we add one more say task. This say lets the system, basically, let's put it here. Let's copy it. We're going to take this prompt here to configure condition. We put it here, and we can delete this part. After this say, we're going to add the end, and now we have a new option. With this say, we're making sure, let's make sure our agent says goodbye properly for our client. So we add this prompt. In this case, sorry, let's go here to the section for the prompt. If we don't put anything literal, it means we want the LLM model we've selected to choose the best way to communicate and say goodbye to the client. Now let's go to knowledge base. In knowledge base, basically, this is the knowledge base that we're going to use to feed our agent. In this case, we're going to add a document. I can have several preloaded documents and reuse them among the agents. In this case, we're going to create a new one. We're going to create this one as a text document. And what we're going to do here is add a small document in which I have the list of service groups that the clinic offers, in this case, preventive general care, restorative surgical care, cosmetic aesthetic dentistry, specialty emergency services, and others, each with a series of subservices. What we're aiming for with this is that in a conversational way, when the client provides information, reports their pain or what they want to do, like you remember in the demo, we said we wanted teeth whitening, and it was able to identify that as a cosmetic service, and that was the service it scheduled for us, if you remember in cal.com. So here it's already been processed. Once we have all of this, we click on Configure Rack, we enable the rack, and what we're telling people is that this text will be used to give us a response and within the conversation processes. What it's doing here is the entire process of indexing and vectorizing our document. After we have this, we click on Publish. It brings this up for us, shows us all the changes we've made, and we click here on Publish. If we want to test how our agent works, we can click here on Preview. And then we can invoke it from here. Remember that we choose a different agent, we create a new different agent that I already have created. In this case, if you want to bring the agent back to life, the example, let's go over here to Agents. And what's very important is that I have here this last one we made. This is the one we have set up here that already has the process. Here, I want to clarify a point in called.com. I have my event types. Each event type is associated because I want my appointments to be scheduled and classified properly so it's easier to identify the type of service. In this case, we have 4 service groups, as we saw in doublespace. Here, we assigned each event type to one of the service types. Additionally, within each one, you need to set the availability because there might be services that aren't available at certain times or on certain days. And finally, it's important to set the appointment duration. And besides that, I want us to notice here that at the top, you can see the ID for this event type. Each event type has its own ID, which you can see here in the address bar. It's this little number. And it's a good idea to put that number here, like we did in this case, where we included it in the system prompt. What for? So that our agent can use that ID, depending on the identified group, to call the tool. Remember that here we have a tools section, and basically these tools are what allow the agent to schedule appointments in cal.com. These parameters are usually not changed. For this example, it wasn't necessary to modify them. And that's how we finish setting up our schedule editor. Within cal.com, I also have an apps section where I can install applications. In my case, I have Google Calendar installed and it's linked, connected to a specific calendar. If I don't do this, all my scheduling is managed 100% within cal.com. This step isn't mandatory. Once we have this set up, we go back to testing and click here on Preview. Here we can either make a call or run chat tests. If we click here, we'll see that it will respond to us again.
Hi, I'm Anna. You're contacting Good Smile Dental Clinic. How can I help you?
Hi Anna, what services do you offer?
At Good Smile Dental Clinic, we offer a wide range of services to take care of your smile. We provide preventative and general care, restoratives and surgical treatments, cosmetic and aesthetic dentistry options, as well as specialized and emergency services. Is there a particular treatment you're looking for or a reason you need a consultation?
No, thank you very much. Goodbye.
I completely understand. Thank you so much for your interest in Good Smile Dental Clinic. Have a great day, and we'll be here if you ever need to schedule an appointment in the future. Go ahead.
and our conversation is now finished. It's also important to understand that here in the analysis section, we'll find the results of all our calls. Each call, for example, is the call we just made. We click on it, we have the audio, we have the transcript, and we have a summary. Look, here it tells me clearly that the user asked about the clinic services, the agent provided the information, and then the user politely ended the conversation. And there's the transcript, there's the client's information. And here it's also important to notice the cost. In this case, 192 credits were used, and the LM cost was here. Over here, the phone, and we select the agent who will handle the call. And with that, we'll have the virtual number from your chat connected with ElevenLabs, and this agent will take our calls. So, as you can see, in a very simple way, we can connect a virtual number from your chat with ElevenLabs and create an agent to streamline our business processes, whether it's to capture clients outside of business hours, to classify clients, or, in this case, for example, to schedule appointments for any service, not just dental clinics, but also spa services, medical services, auto repair services, and any type of service or business that requires appointment scheduling. For more information, you can contact our 2Chat support team. Thank you very much.